All right, hello, good morning, good evening, and good night. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic because today we're going to be talking about some dividends, and more specifically, we are going to be going through my Questrade and CIBC account, and we are going to be adding up. I have my calculator here. We're going to add up all the dividends I received throughout the month of November. As you can see, I have November highlighted here. What we're going to do, we're going to add them up. We're going to compare them to the previous months, which I've held holdings. I'll also show you guys all my new holdings, because what we'll do is we'll compare exactly how much I earned in terms of dividends over the past month to all the holdings I currently have in my portfolio and how I believe my portfolio is going to grow. What we can as well do is compare my dividends to previous years. I have all the history up here, so it's super fun to see the progress made year over year, get our percent returns, and see how much we could potentially grow our dividends in the future. If that does sound cool, if that does sound good, something like you want to do, we're up to 6,373 subscribers, so please do subscribe. 342 subscribers in the past 28 days. Totally your call. I really want to say thank you to everyone who's watching and enjoying our videos. So, cool. Today, of course, majority is in Yieldmax. That's kind of our biggest position here. Just kind of going over my portfolio so you guys have a heads up. The dividends that you're going to see in this portfolio are primarily from Yieldmax. We have one from ULTY, and these three here, Babo, PYPY, and SQY, are three Yieldmax ETFs, which I have only recently picked up. And as you can see here, I put $1,300, $900, roughly $1,000, and $1,500 into each. So those are going to contribute some pretty big dividends for next month, but you will not see those in this month. But nonetheless, we have had huge dividends paid out from Yieldmax, and I'm super excited to see if we potentially beat our last month's target, which was $713. So let's kind of jump into it here. And going off of our first dividend, you could see we received this first dividend on November 1st. So what we're going to do here is we're going to add up $4.49 and subtract 67 cents. $4.40, oops, I always forget, 49 cents. 9 subtract 60 cents. Is it so? 67 cents. Okay, fantastic. No problem. 67 cents. 67, boom. So we're up to $3.82. Okay, let's continue on here. So our next dividend, we have $163.58 plus 163.58. We have to subtract the tax as well. So we're going to subtract $24.53. Boom. Subtract 24.53. Awesome. So this is really our first Yieldmax dividend. So in terms of a 1 week time frame, this is how much we earned in 1 week from Yieldmax on the first week. Now we go to the second week where we see a decrease in Yieldmax. We have a dividend here of $2.40. Whoops, 143. We were roughly about 143. We're going to keep it there. So we're at 240. Boom, 245. Now we're going to subtract the tax, which was 36 cents. So subtract 0.36. Boom. Okay, now we're getting into the real beef here. We have 97.72 was our next Yieldmax dividend paid out in the second week, plus 97.72, and then we will subtract this tax. As you can see, we're moving on pretty quickly here. I don't want to take too much time. I want to get these dividends out so that we can see exactly how we compare. So this one is going to be $14.65 in terms of tax that we have to take out, 0.65, boom. Okay, 2 weeks in, we're up to $228 American, which is actually pretty good. But we got to keep on rolling. Our next dividend came in at $3.05. Gonna add that, 3.05. Cool. Subtract the tax. Not an exciting dividend there because it's only subtracting tax 45 cents. It's kind of funny because I love to see huge tax because it means I received a huge dividend. Now we're going on to the next, which is $136.33 for the third month. Plus 136.33. Cool. Awesome. Let's see what we can do. Next, we have our tax, which is $18.61 plus, not a plus, $18.61. That almost got away from us there. Cool. So we're up to $350 roughly. Now we're going to our last dividend. Our last dividend was our biggest dividend for Yieldmax ever, actually, because they paid out a dividend which was over 30 cents. Pretty insane when you think about it. Now we got $4.88 plus $4.88. Awesome. Kicking it through. Subtract 73 cents, which was the tax, 0.73. Okay, we're almost there. And then the final moment, this is the dividend that I really wanted to calculate, $198.94 plus 198.94. Awesome. So that puts us to 550. Got to subtract the tax though. Tax is going to be a big one on this. 29.84. Okay, no problem. Let's see what we got. Subtract 29.84. Cool. So just from our Questrade portfolio alone, we received $521 in terms of our monthly income. I think that is actually really fantastic. One thing to note was within my Questrade portfolio, my dividends have not really changed too much. And that's because I haven't really bought many more funds. You could see here, we'll go to the previous month where we had October. We received dividends of $122. We received dividends of $120, $135, and then finally $127. Oh, it looks like we received 5 dividends last month. And then the last one coming in $165. So that probably makes up why we had this huge dividend of $713. My screen will refresh here. Cool. So what I will do now is one thing as well that we could add up is we had this dividend paid out from Yieldmax. It will be payable on December 2nd. So let's kind of see what the deal is here, because we have added up roughly about $521 in terms of dividends, but I think this month we got paid out one less dividend. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This was for the month of October. And for the month of November, we only have 4 dividends paid out. So you have to keep in mind, if we were to be paid another dividend, we'd likely be over the $713 target. Now, what I'll do is I'll add in some of my CIBC dividends kind of to boost it up right here. You can see we received $42.44 Canadian. I'm going to subtract the tax on that, which is $6. We'll say roughly about $35 here. So I'm just going to go plus 35. Boom. Now, our next one, just to kind of move through it here, we do have a bunch of dividends that are paid out, but I'm only really going to take the decent sized dividends just because all these little dividends, although they add up, they don't really add up to a crazy amount, maybe like $10, $15. Our next crazy dividend was actually from Square, SQY, which paid us $92. And we're going to subtract the tax on this if we could find it here, which is $13. So roughly about $77 or so from Square. So we're going to add this up right here, plus 77. And this is really going to be our total. Boom, $633. Now, at first glance, $633, if I can even add that in here, I know my Excel is going a little crazy. $633. And what do we have in terms of our cents? 68 cents. Okay, so at first glance, you're like, whoa, our dividends went down. What is the reason for this? Well, in October, we received 5 dividend payments from Yieldmax. In November, we only received 4. So if we were to have received another dividend payment from Yieldmax, we pretty much ended Yieldmax at $550, okay? We'll divide that by 4 to get our average. If we were to have received 5 dividend payments for this month, you can see here we'd be at $687. When we compare that to the previous month, that pretty much takes our total, and then we add our CIBC dividends in, that would be much bigger. But for the case of November, we have received $633.68. I still believe that is super strong. And when we compare that kind of to our overall charts here, I have a bunch of charts here where you can see my monthly income. You can see in November of 2022, we received only $12.82. When I look at November for 2023, we received $165. And when we look at November in 2024, we have received $633. Year over year, we are increasing tenfold. $12, $165. And $165, roughly about a 4 times multiple to get to $633. So you could see here by adding in more income every single month, you can see here I've aggressively tried to add over the past couple months. And every single month, I try to at least invest a few grand. You can see here from November 4th, the start of this month, to today, December 2nd, I've increased about $11,000 within my portfolio. I am constantly adding more and more cash as I want to grow this portfolio as fast as possible. And you could see here, the trend is very cool. We started this portfolio in June 3rd, and you could see here, it kind of remained flat as money sat in the account. But as I continue to add more and as my money compounds on itself, you could see here, the trend starts to get steeper and steeper. And I would really hope, as long as the market kind of continues the great run that we've been having and seeing in Yieldmax and the S&P 500, I would love to see for this to, of course, get steeper and steeper. So at the same time, I also deposited about $1,500 today. That's why my account is up so crazy. It should really be about 10%. But we are still waiting on our last Yieldmax dividend, and that will be for December 2nd. So this was just kind of a video to show you guys how my monthly income has grown over the past little while, starting the year out at only $188, which is still fantastic for monthly income. But you could see here, this is where I opened my Questrade account right here in June. My monthly income was sitting at $170. And you could see here, as I continue to invest, we see $19,000 turned into $250. You see $26,000 turned into $326. Then we had $29,450. Then we got up to $39,000, which gave us $713. And we are continuing to invest currently above this. I had to put here not up to date because we have definitely added more than $40,000, currently receiving $633 every single month. But you have to understand that we missed a payment. Not missed a payment, but we got paid one less payment for the month of November. So we are likely to see bigger and bigger dividends in December. And this goes to the fact that I also added 3 new positions to my account: Babo, PYPY, and SQY. Very fortunately enough, I actually added another about 15 so shares of SQY over the past couple of days, which proved to be a pretty decent idea. Let's see if we can see here. Yes, Square, 15 shares at $19.62 just the other day. And I'm currently up on that position. So I'm really looking to see how these 3 positions perform over the next little while. They're all high yield dividend payers. So that's only going to really increase my monthly income. And I might even potentially look to take out some margin. It totally depends upon how well the market does, what I think it's going to perform in the future, and the opportunities that they provide in the underlying stocks I'm buying. So if you guys did enjoy this video, if you guys found it fun to tally up my monthly income, kind of see exactly how much I'm making, where exactly the monthly income is coming from, please do remember to subscribe. We're up to 6,373 subscribers. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And one more thing I do got to say before I leave you guys, I have taken your advice, kind of reading through a lot of the comments and how you guys mentioned to avoid going into a lot of the short funds such as Fiat and Crash. I have not currently bought any of those. I'm currently going through your comments, seeing what you guys think, because although I'm here to kind of almost guide and teach you, you guys teach me at the same time. So I really appreciate your input in the comments, and I have not yet bought any short ETFs. I will see kind of how the market is doing, how it is performing, but I will take in your considerations at the same time. So thank you guys very much. I want to thank you for commenting, subscribing, and liking this video. Please do remember to take care, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.